Jonah Dempsey here. I'm in Ibiza, and we're going to continue in our Human Needs and the Personality series. The last 4 human needs we looked at, significance, connection/love, certainty, and uncertainty/variety, were all in pairs, right? They were in oppositions. So significance as opposed to connection/love, certainty opposed to uncertainty. It doesn't mean you can't have both, you just can't have both at the same time, and there's a sort of navigation of how much you prioritize one toward the other. If you're an uncertainty person like me, then your trajectory in life sort of, you learn how to have more certainty or ways you can be more comfortable with certainty and not have your anxiety triggered by that. Human design helps because it helps get you in touch with the flow of life, the movement of life, through your strategy and inner authority. And then, if you're a significance person like me, then you also have a lot of learning to do around connection/love, which has been true for me. Now we're going to look at the human need of growth. Growth does not have an opposite. The last 2 human needs we're going to look at, growth and service, they're not opposed in the way that the first human needs we looked at were, right? So these are human needs that kind of cross-cut all personalities. Everybody needs these things. And I think this may be, we can go into the complexities maybe in the next video, may be a little bit controversial for some people coming into human design. I would hope not. I would hope everyone in human design can agree that we all should grow and we should be of service to others. And yet anything that has the word should in it is very triggering for some people in human design. Who are you to say what I should do? Well, who am I to say that? I'm a 5th line. The 5th line is the one that says should. I mean, how many times did Ra say you should follow your strategy and authority? And people try to get technical and say, well, he never used the word should. He just said it's good to follow your strategy and authority. Well, it's the same difference, okay? 5th lines should, deal with it. But at the same time, what am I saying we should do? And we have to be careful how we understand this. At HDHD this year, I think I mentioned this before, there was a question to Karen Curry Parker from someone in the audience saying, well, you're talking a lot about attitude, and how do you reconcile that with what we know in human design, which is that attitude is a mental construct that doesn't change anything, and the only way to really live your life is through your inner authority, which connects you to your body and so on. I'm kind of paraphrasing. And she had a great answer. She said, actually, attitude is not in your mind. It's not mental. Attitude is in your cells. And I'm also paraphrasing here, but as you decondition, your attitude changes. So I really liked that answer, and I think it's the same here. Even though we're going to talk about attitude and talk about mindset, it's like your mindset is still somehow being determined by your cellular makeup, which is a really weird idea. I mean, it is almost like some sort of determinism, or almost a little bit like Daniel Dennett, who I'm not the biggest fan of, but he maybe was onto something when he kind of talked about consciousness as the foam, like the foam of the wave, but that the ocean is the substrate. It's an interesting question, right? And maybe we won't go into that now, but in any case, talking about growth, it's a growth mindset. Do you have a growth mindset? And I think that could be a problem for some people in human design, because they might think your mindset doesn't matter. No choice anyway, doesn't matter what your attitude is, doesn't matter if you're trying or not trying. And I would say trying is the only thing that matters, even if you're just trying to live your design, even if you're just trying to surrender. To try to surrender, you actually have a chance to surrender. If you don't try to surrender, then you're hopelessly lost with your mind running the show. So, I mean, again, we get into some interesting questions here. I think of the quote from Osho, the ego that says it's dropping the ego is the subtlest form of ego of all. The mind that says it's overcome the mind, is the subtlest form of mind. So we have to be careful here. At the same time, attitudes and mindsets matter. In fact, Carl Jung made a big deal about them because he talked about this mechanism that he called compensation, a term that he coined in the psychological sense, which is the unconscious compensating for the conscious mind's one-sided attitudes. So the conscious mind has too much going in one direction, and the unconscious has to send dreams and messages and so on to basically tell the conscious mind, look, let's not be so one-sided here. Let's not be only on this one direction. Let's be more balanced, well-balanced person. So in the context of human needs, it's like I'm a significance person. If I'm extremely one-sided, I will have real problems with connection/love. The compensation is to go more into connection-love. I'm an uncertainty variety person. The compensation is to go more into certainty, right? And how do I do this? Well, I can't make it happen. I can't snap my fingers and do it, but I can try. And that is the growth mindset. The growth mindset is always be learning. So in the next video, we'll talk a little bit more about growth mindset. Wrapping up here. Thanks for watching.